think China, and not China, you think Apple's got problems? They just lost $200 billion in market value over the past 2 days after China banned its government from using iPhones. Oh, crap. They can't use the iPhone in China? Woo! Damn, that's crazy. How you doing, bro? You
I'm
doing
good, man. I am great. Ready for a little cross-country action this weekend. Should be a fun game there against the Chargers. Mostly healthy. This team, mostly healthy, but obviously a couple big names are standing out.
I think Terron Armstead's playing. And I think Isaiah Wynn is starting. I think it's just McDaniel effing with everybody. There's no rule in the NFL that you can mislead people with the depth chart. So apparently you can't mislead about injuries, right? Because that's a no-no, but you can't, it doesn't matter about the depth chart. And then Terron Armstead played all last year without practicing. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think
Yeah,
Armstead
look,
will be
I
out
don't
there.
have I don't have
Left
news. I don't have official news one way or another, scoop one way or another here. Well, the left guard thing, I can't. I'm not allowed to report. Like I know who's practicing with the first team. I'm not allowed to report it. But as far as Terron Armstead goes, this is back-to-back days of not seeing him. I don't know, man. What I'm concerned about is that he was still ramping up to being game ready before he hurt his leg in Houston. So he was already saying, like, okay, as of right now, like, I'm not ready to play. Like, he was already, having to ramp up. The fact that now he's been out for 3 weeks without, any sort of participation really at practice, I think it would go a long way to see him on Friday to at least get that limited session in. But the fact I haven't even seen him out there, and granted, we only get to watch the first 20 minutes of practice. So he could have showed up afterward for all we
That's
know.
right.
We
That's
get the injury report should be coming out in about 24 minutes at this point, and we'll get an official designation as far as what his level of participation was today. But I don't, I just don't know, man. Like I don't think this is the same exact situation as last season when he's playing on Sunday and he might not practice on Wednesday or Thursday, and he'll hop in there on Friday just to get a walkthrough in. Like, I think it's just a little bit different. He was game ready. He was in game shape then. I don't know if he's in game shape right now. I don't personally know. He could be. And by all accounts, his teammates, his coaches, McDaniel, every chance he gets, reminds us that Terron Armstead is a guy he doesn't have to worry about.
what I'm saying.
And if he can play, he will play. So I think this is something I cannot opine on one way or another. I cannot say with certainty one way or another, but it is my opinion, and that is all this is. This is just my opinion that if he does not practice in any capacity tomorrow, that I would prepare for a Sunday without Terron Armstead.
Well, here's the thing. And maybe it's a race now because I gave Cam the idea because nobody's ever asked him this. And maybe if Cam forgets, if he has Omar Kelly's type memory and he forgets, maybe you can do it. You need to ask Cam the next time he's at the podium, what is it that he does for conditioning? Because if you don't practice like you didn't all last year, there must be something in the building that he must be doing. Some elliptical, some kind of pool work, something. He's got to be doing something to work up some kind of a sweat and to get wind. Because last year was amazing that he would never practice, and yet he had the physical stamina to last an entire game. Even the playoff game, he had not played for weeks. And then he ended up playing that entire playoff game with like 87 injuries. And so I just wonder what he does behind the scenes that we cannot see in
You're
order
talking
to
about
stay in shape.
you're talking about Terron, right?
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay,
about
because you said to ask Cam when next
no,
time he's at the.
because no. What I said is I told Cam to ask, and it'll be a
Oh, okay,
race.
I see what you're saying. I thought you had switched to Cam Smith, and I was like, I don't see the
No.
correlation.
Cameron Wolf. I'm talking about Cam Wolf.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
talking about it. It'll be
Terron
a race
boxes.
between you and Cam. If Cam forgets, maybe you will remember. Ask him because I'm very intrigued to find out what is his conditioning routine. What did he do all last year? Because he has to do something, Marcel.
Terron boxes. He boxes. We saw that in training camp as well when he was off to the side as well. Like he boxes. It's not a perfect conditioning regimen, but it is, it is you exuding effort, physical effort over a period of time. It's not, a one-to-one fit. It's not exactly the same as exerting yourself against a human being trying to get by you, for a 60-minute game. I don't think there's really any replacing that. But
No.
I think
No,
that
but
is
dude,
his.
he has to do something, Marcel, because there's no way you could just hang out all week and just play on Sunday. He has to be
No,
able.
I mean,
So
obviously
I'm
not.
really intrigued to find out what is his conditioning regimen, because if you're injured, okay, that puts a real crimp into how do you get prepared when you're injured? You know what I'm saying? And if you have a leg injury, how do you box for hours? Are you doing it in a pool? Are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? I'm really
And
intrigued to see what
next
he
time we
does.
see him,
Yeah,
it's a good question to ask him. I think, obviously something low impact, so I wouldn't expect him running on the treadmill, but like an elliptical,
elliptical or pool, pool.
pool, bike, like something that's low impact that
Yeah,
still gets your
that
body
that
going.
that thing that they do, that hand thing that they do, that might be also the other thing that he does. That works up your sweat and energy. Because I know that they do the one with the arms. If you can't do the legs, they do the arm ones that also might be something also that he builds up a sweat. I'm really intrigued because what he did last year was just miraculous, bro. You got to be really special athlete to do what he did last year.
You
Most
do, and
guys,
like
most guys can't do that, bro.
that's why they trust him so much. That's why
Yeah.
they trust him so much to go without practicing. Yeah, but again, this is you kind of know what you get from Terron Armstead. Once again, you're going to get top 5 left tackle play when he's healthy. He is going to miss 2 to 3 games a year.
Yeah.
It's that's just, and that's not me trying to speak it into existence. That is just reading off his past 3 years, 3 4 years. That's become the new normal. So obviously not off to a great start for him this year from just a health standpoint. I know it's not where he wants to be either, but I think the Dolphins are confident that as soon as he is game ready, that you're going to get the same level of play from him as you've gotten in previous years or previous seasons.
Austin Jackson, man, he never lacks confidence. I got to give him credit. He's always got a great attitude, Marcel. And I think that that's really important for it's a lesson from Austin Jackson for the rest of us in life, because a lot of us go through adversities and we go through tough times, and sometimes those moments tend to have a lasting effect on us, and we become bitter or mad or frustrated about the situation, and then it affects how we carry ourselves, how we interact with other people. Austin Jackson's had a lot of adversity, a lot of criticism, but it is marvelous the way he handles it and the way he is trying to bounce back from all that kind of adversity.
Yeah, because I
I'm
mean,
really
like,
impressed with that, actually.
it's not like he's ever really been a scrub. It's not like he's ever been,
Oh,
an underdog. Like this is a guy 5 star out of, I remember because he's from Arizona, 5 star tackle out of Arizona, first round talent at USC. It probably would have been a no-brainer first rounder if he didn't take the year off after the procedure to help his sister. So like he is comes from a star pedigree. Like he's not just a bad football player. I think he got a bad rep. Obviously that first year at left tackle was not very good, and then 2021 was not very good as they bounced him from left tackle to left guard. But ever since he's been moved to right tackle and been told like we believe in you at this position, stay here, like we're gonna keep you here. He has been solid, and you can't be scared if you're an offensive lineman because you
no.
got the nastiest athletes on the planet coming at you hard, 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 hard for 60 minutes every Sunday. You can't
But
be
you've seen
scared.
the
Like,
guy.
oh
But
my God,
Marcel,
I don't
you've
think I
seen the
can hang
guy.
out.
But you've been at this long enough now. You've seen the guy that's gone through adversity, and then it affects him, and he's, personality wise and all that, and it affects him. Whereas this guy has, I give him a lot of credit, bro. And mentally, he reprograms himself in a really positive way. And I think that if you're going to have success, that's maybe why he's starting to turn the corner. It's because he's also maintained a great attitude throughout the entire thing.
It's a big year for him. Obviously, they declined his fifth-year option, as was
It should.
110% the right move.
Yeah.
But this is, his future with the Miami Dolphins is on the line right here. I don't know if we've seen enough to say definitively, yeah, they should sign him back. I think like there's a lot of questions that are going to be answered based on Austin Jackson's play this season. But he's got to stay healthy because I think at this point, like the talent level, the production is not necessarily the question with Austin as much as the durability. Like you just have to be on the field. Otherwise there's nothing to go off of. There's nothing to go off of except practice tape. And, it's hard to justify, spending $20 million on practice tape. I'm not saying a year, I'm saying total, but like it's hard to justify spending that kind of money on, he had a good training camp 2 years in a row. So, I think, but I like the guy. He's always leveled no matter, I mean, we've talked to him after he got his butt kicked. We've talked to him after strong practices, after good performances, bad performances. He's the same level every time you speak with him, and I think that's really important, especially in this, in this profession that you can't get too high and you can't get too low. And Austin Jackson is always the same exact tone, same exact attitude every time we speak with him. But no, man, I am pulling for him as much as an objective reporter can pull for somebody on the team they cover, strictly because he's a good guy, man. And like I just want to see, I want to at least see him put something on tape. I don't want him to keep being judged for what he did 2 years ago. Like I want at least current stuff, something current, so we could say this is who he is right now, not well last time we saw him. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, maybe he's more of a, maybe what it's been the product of just bad coaching those first couple years. It just wasn't a good foundation for him to succeed. And now maybe with the right coaching and the right scheme, maybe this will allow him, to excel. Lord knows that, we talk about the Dolphins are going to go as far as Tua takes him. Well, brother, if that right tackle don't work out, well, Tua ain't taking you anywhere. Because if nobody can stop the pass rusher on the right side, then that's going to be a major problem all year long. So, as much as we say, oh, you need Tua, brother, you need Austin Jackson to perform at a high level this year in
Yes, you
order for the
do.
Dolphins to succeed, which is crazy.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, because the swing tackle situation. I mean, you can maybe you throw Kendall Lamb there. I think he's chomping at the bit to play on the right side, so you
Did
can
a good
throw
job.
Kendall Lamb up there. Isaiah Wynn is an option. You could bring Obwehi back. Like there's a couple ways that you can go there, but no, I think the easiest route is just Austin Jackson stay healthy and play well.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Are you expecting Deshaun Elliott to be the starter next to um the what's it called? Damn it,
Javon.
Javon Holland.
I think I'm expecting Brandon Jones to get the first opportunity there. But I think the starter is kind of irrelevant here because this is a situation where these guys are going to rotate.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily matter. I think that Brandon Jones, and I've said it 100 times, I think he was starting to show something. He was starting to show development in terms of his pass coverage and expanding beyond that like box safety role that he had kind of been through the first couple years of his career. So it's a tough break for him that he's working his way back from injury while this new defense is being installed. I think Deshaun Elliott might have a leg up on him there. But there is chemistry between Brandon Jones and Javon Holland dating back to 2021 and a little bit in 2022. It would make sense for him to. This is his job. I don't think that Deshaun Elliott was brought in to take over for him. I think they needed a new Eric Rowe, and he is an upgrade over Eric Rowe. And in terms of having a just rotational safety there. So yeah, I don't think the starter really matters. It's kind of like running back when they're full strength. Like the starter doesn't really matter. Like Mostert and Wilson are going to get a pretty equal share of the work until A Chain, can really is used to the speed of the game. I think he's the future of this backfield.
All right. So Armstead, Waddle, Bethel, Hill, A-Chain, Ahmed, Davis, Eichenberg, Jones, Williams are on the injured list. That's a long ass injury list, but how many of these injuries are actually
Yeah, man.
serious? Yeah,
It
you're
it
concerned.
cracked me up
Like you guys
when
talked to Waddle. If Waddle talked to you guys, dude,
he's
he's not
playing,
hurt.
bro.
He's ready to go. I mean, give me a break. So calm the Dolphin fans down. What
Yeah, look,
injuries
it
really are serious?
you gotta look at you have to read the list. You have to read the list. You don't just see, some the popular response I saw yesterday was, "Oh my God, there's so many names on it." Yeah, 6 of them practiced in full. Like
Exactly.
all that means is they got treatment on it. If you got an ankle wrapped, yeah, practice in full with an ankle injury. But like if it's a full practice, that doesn't matter. Like it's
You're
okay.
good. You'll be fine.
Breathe.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. But and not to mention like 4 of those guys were regular contributors. Obviously Armstead is the big one, and then Waddle was limited, but like Justin Bethel and Elijah Campbell are big for special teams. Don't get me wrong. Like that could have a sneaky impact on the game, but that's not going to decide the game. With all due respect, like this is not. It's not a situation that warranted all the panic I saw and all of the here we go
That's
again,
why I
same
want you to
old
walk him off the
Dolphins.
ledge.
Like
Walk him off the damn
guys,
ledge, bro.
it'll be. I mean, let's see. Let's pull this thing. Let's pull this thing back up so that we can be accurate here.
Armstead, okay, that's
But
serious. Waddle, not serious. Justin
Julian
Bethel,
Hill, a limited for Julian Hill.
okay.
Limited is fine this early in the week. It's not really worth it again for Julian Hill and Justin Bethel. Limited is fine this early in the week for Jalen Waddle, especially a player of that caliber. It's just going to be load management. But A-Chain shoulder full, Ahmed back full, which is interesting because it was reported that it was a neck injury, not a back injury, but doesn't matter. Full. Raekwon Davis elbow full. Liam Eichenberg ribs full. Brandon Jones knee full. Connor Williams knee full. Like full practices are good,
Yeah.
especially early in the week. That is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yep.
It's okay. They are required by league law, by NFL rules. If somebody receives treatment, that they have to be on the injury report.
That's it.
That's it.
I just, that's why I want you to say it because I don't think it's that big a deal. The only guy I'm worried about is Armstead, and I still believe he's going to play. I think he's going to pull the same crap he did all last year. And they're like, you know what? Why are we already did this with you last year and you did fine. We're going to keep doing this. Why put you out there and risk injury in practice? So risk injury in a game, not in practice. And maybe that's what they're doing. Who knows, but what are you going to do? All right. The Fangio effect. How will that help on Sunday against Herbert and the boys?
Well, ideally, it takes away the big plays. And if you remember last year's game, Herbert put on a clinic. It was smack in the middle of you and I's month-long debate about quarterback creating off script. And Justin Herbert, after the game, I just motioned toward the field and said, that is my argument.
I know, but
he put on a clinic for how to create off script.
He put a clinic on between the 20s. Didn't score a lot.
They didn't score a lot. They bent and they didn't break.
Okay.
That was
all right. Okay.
That's Miami's defense. That was the Josh Boyer effect. But you would hope that
looks shiny, but is it really substance? You know what I'm saying? So
hey,
there's a lot of yards.
They did enough to win. They did enough to win, and not to mention Miami's 2 touchdowns were. I mean, one of them. I don't think a 60-yard deep ball to Tyreek can be considered fluky at this point.
That offensively they were terrible.
But there's nothing. 57-yard punt return or fumble return. Yeah.
There's no excuses for Tua, for McDaniel. Those couple weeks they played like crap. They played.
What you're hoping for is a little bit of chaos. Beyond limiting the deep play, you're hoping for a little bit of chaos. It's their first time really implementing a full 4-quarter effort of Kellen Moore's system from Justin Herbert's perspective. It's their first time doing this over the course of the game. There's still going to be a little bit of thinking. It's not going to be 100% instinct. He's going to be thinking, okay, this is my read, this is my key, this is my first option, So what you're hoping to do if you're Vic Fangio is confuse him even more. So not only are you thinking about what the hell is the defense doing, but you're also thinking of what am I supposed to be doing here? It's not a natural fit yet. Like Tua in year 2 of McDaniel's offense, these things should be natural. You should
Oh
be
yeah.
playing, not thinking. I think Herbert is probably going to be doing a little bit of thinking, at least this early in the season. So it's there are advantages and disadvantages of playing a brand new system early in the year with no tape. Obviously, like, you don't know what to expect. You can't just watch Cowboys film and say, okay, this is what Kellen Moore is going to do, because these are different personnel. These are different receivers. Different receivers. You have a different type of weapon at running back in Austin Eckler as well. You have a different type of quarterback in Justin Herbert than Dak Prescott. So it's not a one-to-one fit. It's not apples to apples there. But you can also, like I just explained, you can take advantage of that inexperience, of that team's own inexperience, and turn it back on them by confusing them in disguising coverages. And that is something that I think Vic Fangio is very adept at, as one of the defensive mastermind architects of the modern game. I would expect to see a lot of that come Sunday.
By the way, folks, we're still in hurricane season. Make sure you keep Welt Rheaume's number by your side. God forbid we get hit by a storm. You do not call the insurance company and their adjusters. You call Welt Rheaume first. They have their own adjusters, and they will set you up. So if you're dealing with some kind of water damage or storm damage or maybe bankruptcy, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, call my friends Welt Rheaume. They're in Hollywood. They serve all of South Florida. They also have an office in the Keys. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. All right, Marcel, what's the prediction? What happens on Sunday? Who wins and why?
Man, that's hard. That's hard. I'm going to counter by doing something that I did for ESPN in our game day, our week 1 preview here. My bold prediction of the game last year: Dolphins averaged around 4.5 yards per carry on the ground. They only ran the ball, I think it was like 19 times. They couldn't commit to the run, playing catch up.
Yeah, we know.
That changes this year. I think they go for 150 yards on the ground. I see a triple-digit effort from Raheem Mostert as well. So fantasy owners, I think Mostert is a good play here. The guy is healthy. He is motivated. I think he's a little bit angry too. I don't know him, like the back of my hand, but I'm cool enough with Raheem. He's not a hot-headed type of guy, but I think he is proud enough. He's proud enough, and he believes in his skill set enough to be offended by all the running back talk from the offseason. I mean, who among us wouldn't? If ESPN's talking about, is doing interviews with somebody for a Dolphins reporter position while I'm still here, yeah, I feel some type of way as well. So, I think that we're going to see a big game from Raheem Mostert. We're going to see a big game from the Dolphins on the ground. Because of that, we see a Dolphins win. They start the season 1-0, shoot 2-0, because I don't think they're losing in Gillette next week in Sunday Night Football either. I don't care who's being honored at halftime or after the game, whenever the hell the Brady stuff is.
Weren't you interviewing in Bristol yesterday or something? Oh, anyway, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch his work for now at ESPN until Sean takes over. Make sure you go to ESPN.com. Marcel, as always, my friend, have a great weekend. Safe travels, man. Enjoy Los Angeles out there. And remember, you're in California. You can steal just under $1,000 and not get in trouble. How about it?
All $1,000 of my allotted misdemeanor is going toward In-N-Out Burger. So
there you go. That's the way to spend it right there. Maybe a little Pink's hot dogs. No, maybe
nope, In-N-Out
no?
Burger, man. That's all I
Okay.
want. That's
That's
gonna be
it.
my first meal. Nah, no, it's not. It's gonna be my dinner though, Saturday night. Like, I don't need anything fancy. That's my town, man. Like, I don't need I don't need. Oh, I have to check out this restaurant and this and this and that. Nope. Give me an In-N-Out Burger, bro.
Not
Give me an
bad.
In-N-Out. Give me an
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out Burger, and then I'm going to watch Texas, Alabama.
A little Roscoe's. You're not gonna go to Roscoe's? I love Roscoe's.
That's breakfast food, man.
I love Roscoe's. That chicken. It's like the chicken that my mom used to make when I was a kid.
Yeah, I haven't had Roscoe's in a while.
That tender chicken with that crispy shell that is just perfectly crispy. It's
With
not burned.
the tip still on the wings.
Yeah, dude. Oh god, they just know how to make fried chicken there, bro.
Yeah, might do that for oh no. I was gonna say for Sunday breakfast, but
no.
there.
You don't
I'm
want
not going there before the church crowd, and I'm not getting there after the church crowd. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that'd be so. That's the beauty of the 4 p.m. kick,
yeah.
though, is that football should be on. Football should be on. Oh, it's not 4 p.m. It's 1 p.m.
1
kick.
p.m. for you there. Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
One
I mean,
25 for you there. 425 for us over here, unfortunately. And there's
it's funny.
Randy's
I used to
and there's Randy's Donuts right there too. So
Now Randy's is special. So I'm staying I'm not gonna tell everybody exactly where I'm staying, but I am staying near the big, a big donut sign. And the flagship one. I had it a couple times when we were in LA last year. Truly special
I
donut.
haven't taken Sean yet. We haven't gone to a trip in LA yet. But when I do, boy, Sean's gonna be in for a real treat to all these places.
Man, I wish that just the last food thing before I take off. There used to be this spot called Komodo, and not like the Komodo in Brickell. I thought for a second they were the same thing, and I was really excited until I pulled up to Komodo Brickell and was like, "This ain't it." But it was an Asian fusion restaurant. It started off as a food truck, and they opened a brick and mortar off of Pico in West Hollywood, and they had this burrito. They called it the MP3 burrito. It was sirloin steak, quail eggs, tots, and cheese wrapped up in a burrito. And it didn't matter where we were. My best friend used to live in LA. Every time I visit, didn't matter what our plans were. They involved swinging by West Hollywood to go get an MP3 burrito. They
There
shut
you go.
down business a couple years ago because they just got tired of it. They never opened back up, man. It is the greatest. I'm begging them to reopen, man. I'm begging. That is my
There's a
final
lot of
wish.
good places in West Hollywood to go and eat, man. That's a groovy area
It's a
to
good
find
city, man.
bunch of
LA.
places to go eat. Yeah, LA is a fun place. Maybe not to live, but definitely to hang out
I
and
like just the
visit.
geography of LA. I think is awesome. Like
Yeah, it
obviously we have a
is.
beach here, but like
I
something
agree.
about being at the beach and then seeing like rolling hills on either side.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, man.
I'm with you. It's so cool to visit. I really enjoy visiting it. There's no doubt about that. All right, my man. You have great travels. We will catch up next week, and let's hope for a good performance by the boys. You be good out there.
Peace.
Thank you, sir. Welt Rheaume, 954 966 4646.